Welcome back, parents, teachers, caretakers, grandparents. Thank you for coming back again and again. Some of you asked a question saying, can you share it on your Facebook or Instagram? Feel free to share it. Feel free to share it with your own friends or fellow parents, whoever it is. Feel free to do it. Please feel free to do it. Subscribe. So every time we post something, you will get some notifications. It'll be a beautiful journey. Last episode, we talked about helping our teenagers, in that place of their mistakes, or how we can cover them and how we can help them. Today, I want to share another principle, another scenario, which is becoming very common, where there are two things that I'm beginning to see happening. Sometimes some parents are afraid because of what's happening around them. Some of their own friends, teenagers are going into some of the wrong places and doing some of the wrong things. So they're very, very afraid. And then the other thing that's happening is some of the parents don't even know of what's happening. They're not even involved. You see what I'm saying. So I want to give you a few principles to deal with this. One, we should not be afraid. We should not be afraid about what's happening around. Yes, we have to know it. It's very important for us to know it. And we need to even start talking about some of those issues with our children appropriately if the child goes in that particular direction. Like I have 11 teenagers inside the house. There's a boy who sometimes slips into some of those online spaces. For him, I need to keep talking. But for another person, I don't have to talk about it. For another teenager, he struggles with confidence. He's afraid about it. He always holds back. So that is something that I would talk about. With the other guy, he's very, very smart in the way he does things and things like that. But sometimes he can get into some of those wrong friendships, So that's something so appropriately, we need to be knowing. We can't just say that I can't, talk about it. I've said this several times in the episodes. It's important for us to have some of those honest talks. The previous episodes, your children, your teenagers must have heard these 4 principles. Look back, look around, look ahead, and look up. And here for you guys, I'm talking about looking around. We need to look around and understand and know what are the influences of our children. What are some of the pressures that our children are going through? What are some of those tight spots that our children are going through? Sometimes it's very real, very, very real. Recently one of my boy who's finished college, 2 of my boys getting into college, and I took them out having lunch yesterday. And he said something very interesting. He was talking to these guys who are getting into college. He said something very, very interesting. You know what he said? He said something, hey, be very tactful when your friends tell you why you are not doing this, why you are not doing that. Don't sit there and say, hey, you have to be like this, because I am this and I believe in this. Don't say things like that. They will corner you. Be careful. Be very tactful. And yesterday evening, I talked with my children in my devotion time. I was talking about tactfulness yesterday. I gave them several principles of tactfulness. So when you look around, use that, what you look around, or the news that you hear or you read, use that as a learning journey or a stepping point of where we can speak into the lives of our children. That's 1. 2, it's very important for us not to be over them all the time. Every little thing. Recently I was counseling one teenager, and this is what she said. My parents are over me all the time. I can't even do one little thing. It's like they're zooming around with a sniper gun, and one little mistake, they will immediately. I've shared this principle several times. Catch them doing right, not catch them doing wrong. When you catch them doing right, you will celebrate them, and that will boost the confidence of your own children. So on one side, yes, you need to know what's happening around them and speaking into their lives. On the other side, we don't have to be over them all the time. Again, this is another principle I've always shared. Pick your battles wisely. Otherwise, you will be finding yourself in the middle of the war. You don't want to find yourself in the middle of the war. What means what? What you need to deal with, what you should just let go right now, to let go later, to talk about it now, not to impulsively step in. What are some of those places? See, the key thing is wisdom. In our place of discipleship, in our place of mentoring, the key thing is wisdom. I want to share something as I close. On November 12th, we are having a one-day conference where we are going to talk about wisdom discipleship. We are celebrating discipleship, wisdom discipleship, how we can walk with our children, with our teenagers. Join us for that. We would love to have you. I think the need of the hour is for us to step in and help our children, our teenagers, and to disciple them intentionally. If you see, the whole episodes is under the title IDTNG, intentionally discipling the next generation. Not just casually discipling, not just shooting in the dark. No, we are very intentional in our discipleship of our children, our teenagers. The Lord bless you. Thank you for being here.